Where did it go?
Applebee.
Oh, okay, but you can leave the dog and then you can move away.
Cool. No, you stay here. Hey.
Freak, you look so
Good
good.
afternoon.
Freak, you look really, really good. What
Well,
happened?
thank you. I don't know. I took a shower, I guess.
She didn't say that to me, Freek. So that's,
No, I didn't.
that's a good start of the meeting. So, okay. I think I'm gonna go right now.
I even told Bart that I would rather talk to his puppy than to his face.
Hey.
Emma is on.
You can talk to my puppy.
Oh my god. How come you guys will have a puppy? Oh. Emma.
Wow. Nice.
Perfect puppy.
Emma, you don't have one? You don't have a puppy?
No, I have 2 cats, but I had to move them to the attic because they were like, and coming here over the table.
I kind of want them to though.
Yeah?
Yes.
No, you don't. It's fun for like 1 minute, but then you're like, oh, cat, please.
If 2 is a company, 3 is a crowd, then what do you call 4 people having a coffee chat over Zoom? Joining me today across 3 different time zones are some of the most incredible, funniest and talented people I've had the opportunity to work with in music festival industry. My man Freak is the founder of KBK Visuals and the mastermind and also the hand behind all the crazy visual technology that can turn any stage into your wildest fantasy. My dearest friend and counterpart ever is the best project manager that keeps everything, and by that I mean more than 150 international shows set and ready to go for KBK Visuals. And that's it. Wait, I was joking. But my goofy man who claims he can speak Korean but doesn't go past counting to 3 is actually an incredible show director with 15 years of expertise and also the founder of 360 Show Design. They literally run the show for some of the world's biggest, craziest EDM music festivals. You name it. Mysteryland, Freak Show, Awakening, Boomtown Fair, and our very own stadium here in South Korea. Today we are officially hosting a global coffee chat party to openly share with you the real behind the scenes of the behind the scenes in music festivals.
That is awesome sauce.
I mean, who would have expected? I mean, I was talking to Eva before, but just when we wrapped up Stadium, we were already talking about Stadium 2020 and thinking about the stuff that we were going to do this year. And then all of a sudden, who knew that we would be Skyping from all 4 different locations, not being able to do anything?
Yeah, April was terrible with all the cancellations. That was super depressing, man. Like every day we got like emails like festivals being canceled. And basically our whole calendar or our whole agenda cleared in April. And I guess now we're like kind of like business is picking up again, so I can't complain. Then again, we'll make the best out of it. And I've learned how to cook. Hey, that's like huge.
I think the past half year it went so fast, even without shows, and like.
Oh yeah.
If you think about March, I think the half of March, like 15 March, our first show got cancelled, and afterwards, like everything got cancelled. But it seems like such a long time ago, and you accept it and you go further and you try to think of new possibilities. And
it's not up to like the level that it was, but we can't complain right now, which is a great feeling because actually we are all a little bit addicted to that whole rushing into projects and going from one project to another and that whole adrenaline rush. I totally missed that, but I also had a moment now that I kind of slowed down and took some time for myself and stuff like that, and it's actually been great too.
I agree with Freek, for me too. It's like, okay, what's important for me and what's important for the people I work with and what's important for my family and friends. COVID doesn't have only negative sides, you know. It makes you think about how do I want to do with the rest of my life.
How do you want to spend your time?
Yeah, I like to spend my time more dedicated, and if you do it on the one side, you have to cut things off on the other side.
Exactly. It's a trade-off. It's a balance.
Yeah, it's a nice philosophy, and I really like it, and I'm going to try to do it in the future. I think I'm doing it all right now, so I think we're all on the same page in that subject.
I think we have to discuss it like in a few weeks again, and then in a few weeks, and then see how it's going. Like,
never back where we were.
Yeah, and then a big client calls that asks you to travel the world, and you're like, yes.
Yeah, no, for sure. But then I want to every place I want to stay 1 or 2 days longer.
There's definitely a point. I've seen like 100 countries, but I've really only seen like 20 or something. The other ones I've just flown in, hotel, venue, hotel, fly out.
So I can remember the time you were touring with Hartwell, and sometimes you had like 2 or maybe even 3 shows a night. And then you saw the hotel, the front of house.
Right.
Oh yeah. So there's many countries that I've been like 5 times, but I haven't seen anything of the country.
You know every airport though, like.
I know every airport. I know a lot of good food in airports. I miss Singapore airports. Oh my god, food over there is the best in the world.
You guys always had like a project or a thing that was booked the week of. So one day I talked to Freak in his KBK office, and then that week he's in Miami to do UMF. And then so we would have to schedule it a couple of days later. So I remember how crazy the schedules were. And then like a week after you had to be somewhere else, so we would have to, adjust accordingly. And I remember thinking to myself, how many projects do these guys take on in a single month?
I think at a certain point, man, there were like 150, 200 big projects or something like that. Man, there was so much going on. I totally missed that. What Jessica said, when you're traveling from country to country, from place to place, it are very short, intense moments, but you really can't like take the time to enjoy what you're doing. And I don't know, we should definitely be more, at least think about it more than we've done before.
A good lesson for the next years when it's busy again, like maybe it's more easy to say no to some projects sometimes, or to have a better balance in time to evolve or to develop, and times that you work on a project. And I think we learn a lot from it.
Yeah, and I think you got a point there. We should actually implement that and be more selective in what we do, actually take those moments off and recharge. But that's easy to say right now, because if there's like 20 clients calling, we'll probably say yes to all 20 of them.
Especially now, yeah, of course.
So keep them coming.
Het is heel tof om met z'n allen iets moois te maken en een mooi product neer te zetten en dat ook samen te kunnen doen. En ik vind dat eigenlijk heel tof. Dat je daadwerkelijk uiteindelijk naar een evenement gaat en je ziet ook hoe het op beeld staat. En je ziet wat het met mensen doet.
Het is awesome sauce.
I think we obviously kind of all hope that, the vaccine comes out, or by sometime next year this kind of, pandemic wraps up. But in terms of like the festival industry, do you think it's going to change the way we party or the way we host events? Because I was talking to Eva, and then we were saying maybe they might let like a certain number of people able to go to festivals, but they all have to wear masks. Or we don't even host these kind of gatherings anymore. Everything has to be virtual now. Do you think something's going to change because of this?
No, I don't think so. I think that we will go back to normal-ish. I've been talking to a lot of people, of course, in our business, and rapid testing is basically the solution. Otherwise, shit won't go down. And I know from a couple big festivals that they're like heavily investing in stuff like that.
I'm sure.
I think that is the only solution out there that is actually going to do anything. And I hope that they're going to roll that out real quick, and that you can't enter anything, not even like a gas station, without doing a rapid test. Well, we'll see. It'll take a while. I'm very skeptical about next year.
You are. You're skeptical.
Okay.
I hopefully by the end of the summer that we can start doing shit again. And that's basically a worst case scenario. But worst case scenarios, when you asked me in March last March, I would have said like, by September we're fine.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't happen. Yeah, it's going to be super interesting, but that's my 5 cents.
I agree with you, Freek, on that one, and I hope I'm not right, but I'm very skeptical on next summer too, you know, our summer, to be clear, too, in Europe. But maybe there is something with fast testing or whatever, rapid testing. It can be, but for now I'm not too positive, but it's really hard to say right now. And what Freek said, in March I would say, fuck this summer, okay, well, you know, in September, October, probably there is a vaccine or whatever, it will be gone. In 6 months, 8 months, it's a lot of time if you ask it now, but time is going by and yeah, we're fucking the same shit or even worse here in the Netherlands. And I understand from Freek in Texas soon too.
I can imagine there will be maybe small shows and festivals or like some things that are in the same concept, like maybe like a holiday park, like they did it a lot of now in Holland. Like you have maybe like a vacation park you go to and you have some shows there. But I can imagine that like the capacity of the people, like it cannot be so much as it was last year. So maybe you will have some small shows or small events. But I cannot imagine we can do like our work there, that there will be like big LED screens or big time-coded shows.
What do you think about the possibility of everything moving to the digital scene? So in Korea, because they had all these K-pop concerts that were supposed to happen, and obviously no one can travel, and they couldn't get the crowds in one place, they still hosted the concert, but just broadcasted it all online, and the fans would just watch or cheer live from their houses. I understand it's very different from the festival, the festivity that we get on the ground, but do you think there's something that can be managed?
This is a technology and a field that is evolving so quickly right now, and it's super interesting. We're definitely also part of that, but it won't go away. So by the time that festivals are happening again, these virtual festivals will be an extension of the real life festival or the other way around. And it's a way to reach even more people than 40,000 that's on your field. You can probably reach like 1 million or something, which you will never be able to harbor on your festival. So I think it's super interesting.
Yeah, it feels like an extra experience maybe for the crowd. Like you can already be involved before the festival and after, and you can imagine it will stay.
Without the physical limitation of you having to travel or pack, get stuff. I guess those are sort of the fun experiences of travel as well, the messy parts and the hard parts. But on the positive side, you also don't have to go through the gruesome parts as well to actually enjoy the festival very easily from.
But it's not the same. Like you're still at your house and like you want to experience like the crowd and like the venue of the show. So I think it's not going to replace the whole.
Oh, it can't. Of course, yeah.
Oh, no, it's going to be an extension.
I agree with Freek and Eva. It's an extension. For me, it's not a replacement, and it doesn't never work for replacement, because what is my main purpose to go out to a festival is to meet new people, to dance together, get drinks by the bar and have fun with your friends. And scavenge around the field and then see the fucking fireworks, smell it, taste it. I don't know, you see the lights. And of course, you can make it 3D and etc. But it's not the experience. It's totally different.
It's something different, that's for sure.
Event, it's like. It's the food and beverage, it's like food. And for example, if I take Mysteryland for an example, there's this discovering all day. You can go from area to area. There are theaters there are Dutch scenes, there are DJs. And of course, you can probably make it digitally. Now, well, the food you cannot. And the discovering you can in a certain kind, but I don't know, this physical stuff, you know, like in real life, for me, it's. But maybe I'm too old and I have to change my mind and get more into it. But still, you know, I think it's an extension. So let's keep it to that, and it could never be a replacement for me.
I completely agree, because I mean, you brought up food and beverage, but just to give an example of water bomb, like the whole point of the festival is to spray water at each other. It's like a very tangible thing, you know. And if you can't do that, if you can't feel that water on your body, or you know, get wet, so to speak, then what's the point? That festival has to disappear. It loses the essence of that festival.
Yeah,
so.
You're not gonna do it under the shower, are you?
Oh, that's so gross. Like you have your.
I totally agree with you. It loses the essence for me.
On the other hand, the music industry has been booming for the last couple of years. For the last 10-20 years, it's exploded to something ginormous. But parallel to that, gaming and online entertainment also exploded, even bigger than music. There is something there that might usher in the change for a new generation.
Events in a virtual reality world, like
well, I know a lot of people who prefer gaming over going to festivals, because at festivals they have to talk to people and interact, and gaming is different, I suppose. I think.
Well, actually, that's a really great point, Freak, because people actually prefer virtual reality because you can still communicate with people. Because I think they created this virtual reality system where if you wear it, you can actually communicate with other gamers or other people who are logged into the system, but without the burden of actually, you know, having to continue the conversation, or you can leave the conversation quickly if you want to. So they don't have to carry on the social norms or the responsibility of having to care for another person, right?
I don't know how to pick up girls then anymore.
Well, you can't.
Terrible. Well, I can, but just the concept of it.
I'm kidding.
It's definitely a part of the whole festival experience. We've all met somebody at a festival sometime that we were interested in. Mm-hmm. If we did something with that or not, that's besides the point. It's the physical thing that we're gonna miss for a while. And there must be a substitute, or it's the end of humanity.
Speaking of, what's a festival that you really miss working on? So, because if it hadn't been for COVID, you guys would have been working on several different projects over the year. What's like one festival that you're dying to go? Which one?
Stardew.
Ah, come on, such liars.
No, 100% honest here. I enjoyed that so much.
Really?
Especially because we had all the freedom there and all the support from you guys. You guys really pushed us to take things to a whole new level, and I personally enjoyed every second of that. The whole process working towards the festival itself, just seeing the end product, that was definitely one of my highlights of the year. So definitely a couple of other festivals were also, well, which I really miss right now, but Stadium definitely, let's say, top 3.
I think for me it's even 1. I think also because it's such a big production and you're working, like you're starting with the artwork, like I think maybe 7 or 8 months before, and you're working towards a project that's like such a long time.
Yeah,
and you're working together like a lot. And there's so many aspects in the production, like the artwork, we did the teaser and the trailer, and then the stage design, and like you're working so closely with the team, and a lot of hours in the week I spent on Stadium production, and then this year it's not, and I really missed it. Favorite one. And Mysteryland, because I really like the Mysteryland weekend. It's a really fun festival. We also worked there with Bart.
He said he liked the food and beverages of Mysteryland, so.
He's only at the bar. We're always missing him at the front of house.
True.
Where's Bart?
No, but this year would be my 15th Mysteryland.
Oh wow, you're so old.
I'm very old, yes. But I started with Mysteryland when I was 12. So I'm 27.
Good one.
I was
Okay,
15.
good one.
I was 15.
Oh,
Right from the airport.
But my 15th in the Netherlands, we had 2 in Chile, and I think I've been there 5 times before I worked there. So I think I've been 20 times because I was thinking about it recently. I think I've been 22 times to a Mysteryland.
Wow.
But for me, it's my roots, and when I was there, when I was 17, 18, when I started to go out, it was like I found it so awesome, and I never expected that I worked for that company and creating the shows for that together with KBK, of course, the past I think 5 years or 6 years, Eva, more or
And
less.
it's 3 years for us. We started in 2017.
Oh, okay.
It feels longer, I know.
Feels longer, but maybe because for Donatello, we've been working way longer. But
Yeah, I think that's like 6 or 7 years, yeah.
But having said that, so that's like for me, it's like every year, it's like I don't know, it's my home base or something. And Seoul was going to be my new 3rd home because I'm honest about it because it was a pretty new project for us. I work with Freek and with Eva. For 7-8 years together now. This was a new concept, a new idea, and we didn't know you and we didn't know your team, and it was really like a very good collaboration. And I was worried about the show and some stuff because there is, especially from sometimes it's a little bit hard to communicate directly to the people on the floor, to the production people, and sometimes you don't get really the reflection or the replies you want, or sometimes it's a little bit hard to feel what's going on, but everybody exceeded my expectations, because it was like it was a really great job what we did together, and also your production crew, etc. So we were very happy with that, and the show was a really nice combinations of all show technique and music and audio and then the voice. It was a complete story. We're talking right now, and still we're friends on Instagram. So it was more than just a show on the weekend. It was like the start of something new, if you ask me.
It's what Bart said. It was a little bit more than your average festival. I think we got to know each other on a sort of a personal level a little bit more, and just the interaction over the whole period of time. Some shows are just, you have more of a personal connection with that, and this one was definitely one of those where it definitely felt like it was a little bit your baby, and that whole process towards that end product, super enjoyed everything there. So I'll do that again in a heartbeat.
Wow.
Me too, but I think because you're working for it so long, then you are there in Seoul for a week, everything comes together, and after 8 months of creating the show, and
I know.
Of course, you, Cheska.
I know.
You made it. You connected all the parts together.
That's totally true, Jessica. You put everything together, but
Oh, stop.
you remember too that I made a deal with Mr. Han for the next the next episode of Stadium. You for me. Remember? You remember this, right?
Oh yeah, that was a terrible night. I remember that too.
Tent the people who are doing drugs. That was a culture shock. That was a huge culture shock.
I bet.
Go back in time, choose the same career path that you had, or would you do something different?
Oh, I don't even have to think long about it. I would do it all over again. What we do is we create experiences, but in essence, we make people happy. And that is a super noble thing to do. And I think that is worth my time.
I'm going to say this because I think this is a perfect ending. I would, whatever I do, at one point in time in 2019, I would come to Volume Unit just so I can meet you guys. I would do that for sure.